The following podcast is brought to you by the Johners Podcasting Network, found exclusively at WrestlingWithJohners.com.
As always, I'm very fortunate to be joined by my guest. Today's guest is Mr. Certified himself, Mr. Luke Kurtis, former OVW World Champion, Tag Champ, Rush Champ, every champion you can name in OVW. The man is, in my opinion, the workhorse of OVW. Luke, thank you for joining me, man.
Oh, thank you, Jordan. That was a great introduction. I would agree with you. I definitely would say that I am the workhorse of OVW. I put in the effort, you know. That's going to be pretty much everywhere I go, though. I feel like in my mind. I mean, wherever I go next, it's going to be the same thing for me. I'll end up being the workhorse. People say the same thing. They always have, because I set a different standard for myself. You know, I've been through a lot of things in life, so I'm very fortunate to have this type of opportunity now. So, yeah. I take it very serious, and I try to push it to the next level. And I look at the competition that's around me, and I try to raise to that, and then past that. So everywhere that I go, no matter where I go, I'm always looking at the top guy, the champion, because that's where I want to be. It's never like, oh, how can I get to the next match or whatever it's going to be. It's how can I overtake that champion and then become the champion. So that's the mindset that I kind of live in.
And in my opinion, the mindset that you've got, and you've just said to me, if you've got that in life, you're going to accomplish anything.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it applies to everything, not just wrestling.
So with yourself, one thing that I've just recently noticed, that you and Leila Gray, your wife, back in February, was in Puerto Rico.
Mm-hmm.
A week before me.
Oh, wow.
I saw that. I was like, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, Puerto Rico was awesome, dude. I love Puerto Rico, man. The food, the beaches, the weather. I'm from Miami, so I'm a tropical guy myself. So Puerto Rico to me is like Miami plus. It's like Miami, but even more tropical. So that's what I love about it.
Yeah. Puerto Rico, it was my first time visiting, and it was like a short stay, but something that I definitely have to go back to. And obviously, you mentioned Miami. Miami's a place that for a Brit to go is like once in a lifetime. So It's a place that is on my bucket list to go.
Uh-huh.
What was it like growing up in Miami back in the early years?
Oh, it was good, man. I mean, Miami was a lot of fun, obviously. Like, I'm a beach baby. I could swim before I could walk. And spent a lot of time in the sun playing football. I'm from Dade County. It's all about amateur football and amateur wrestling down there. And, like 35% of the NFL comes out of like Dade County. It's a huge area for that. So I played a lot of football growing up, went to the beach all the time, and had a lot of fun, man. I mean, I guess I pretty much grew up in paradise for a lot of people, and I always took it for granted. Now that I live in Kentucky, I miss Miami, dude. I miss that weather, man. Miss the beach. But yeah, me and Leila, we used to, rollerblade to the beach, dude, and chill at the beach all day and go eat at a restaurant by the water. It was nice, man.
Jealous, man.
Yeah, Miami was great. Yeah, I spent 27 years there or something like that. 26 years of my life in Miami. So now I'm way up here in the cold, man. But I'm gonna be making a few moves, man. I'm gonna be moving to LA pretty soon.
LA? Is that for some acting gigs?
Nobody really knows about that yet. So no, it's for something wrestling.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Think about what's out there in LA.
There could be a lot of stuff.
No, I'm gonna train at the dojo, the New Japan dojo.
Oh wow.
Yeah, in LA. So, go over there, get my feet wet with that style, make some good connections, and hopefully elevate. So I'll be moving out there pretty soon.
Awesome, man. I mean, like I said before we went on, I said to you, and I said it when we first came on, you are the workhorse of not even just OVW. I think you don't get as much credit as you should. Like we mentioned, 6-time OVW champion. Every match that you are in, you put 110% in, and you've got the physique, you've got the look of a Hollywood actor as well. Do you know what I mean?
Thank you. I mean, I look a little rough right now. I'm not liking this camera angle too much. I feel like it's too low or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I'm gonna get a haircut soon, and I'll be back on my ways. But because OVW is on a break right now, but keep going. Compliment. Actor, wrestler,
model. No,
model. Hey, I'm working on the modeling. You see the little modeling stuff I'm dropping.
I have, and this is a photo shoot you did with you and Leila.
Yeah, there you go, brother. I like that. Hang on, let me take a picture right now with my phone. I like this. You never see this on podcasts, but you're going to see this today. This is me taking a picture of my screen, and I am actually going to send that to homegirl right now.
One thing that I like to do on the podcast, right, is obviously if I have like, so for example, yourself, but then you've got other half in the wrestling business, like you have with Leila. I like to mention them as well because obviously I think you and Leila could do some fantastic stuff, whether you got a Ring of Honor, do you know what I mean? Do like a mixed tag or just say Triple A's to begin with. I feel like you two need to do stuff.
Hopefully one day it comes to that. I mean, I know that's definitely something that I want, and I think she does too. We would love to work together. We already got a whole gimmick, bro. Yeah, if we ever get to do stuff together, you know, we would be the power couple.
Literally.
So anybody that hears that here, that's our tag team name. So nobody take that.
I don't think anyone would.
And our finisher will be dinner for two. Double eat defeat. So we got the whole gimmick worked out. So hopefully at some point we get to do more stuff like that. But regardless, you know, she does what she does and I do what I do. And that's great because, you know, we share in a lot of things. So when one of us comes up, the other one does as well. So supporting each other is an important part of the process. There's a very yin and yang to how like life works and things in life, and especially wrestling, you know, she has to be here. Let me put myself, she has to be here so I can be here, or I have to be here so she can be here. And then at times she's going to have to be here so I can be here. And that's just kind of how things work out and flow and how you make things work and continue to grow in the wrestling business and in your personal life as well. So, I mean, we just take it one day at a time and we focus on being the best that we can be, you know, as individuals and together, and let's see where the road takes us. But, you know, we always think about stuff like that. So it's fun to play that game.
I think everyone would love to see that though. Like you two as a mix.
So. And I think when it happens, it'll be like the right time. You know, every time I think that I'm ready for something, 6 months go by and I'm like, wow, I'm completely different now.
Yeah.
So I know like, I know TNA is coming to Louisville at the end of the month. So I'm hoping that I get an opportunity. So actually right now what I'm doing is, you know, have a bodybuilding coach because I'm going to compete next year. We were bulking before. I was getting kind of fat. We were bulking and, you know, I thought about it and I was like, TNA's coming to town. You know, you never know in wrestling, right? You could get an opportunity. Maybe they need a local guy. So I just told my coach like to cut me down. So right now I'm in the process of like changing my physique. I'm going to be like pretty shredded by the end of the month, hopefully. And we'll see. You never know, right? You know, maybe
never.
Yeah, maybe the fans of Louisville will get to see a TNA get certified for a night, but maybe not. I don't know. I mean, you never know.
We also mentioned obviously the photo shoot you've done as well. This one, I mean, just look at it. You look like literally an actor, man.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. No, I appreciate it. That's definitely something I've been trying to do more of. I feel like that's one thing you don't see from professional wrestlers. No. I always feel like I set the standard. I love to joke about it. I'm like, you're going to see wrestlers like doing photo shoots now. Watch. They're going to be popping up like all GQ and shit. I said the same thing, like wrestlers wear suits now. You see all the boys wearing suits. I remember when I started in wrestling, they all wore T-shirts and shit. And I would go to all these shows. I'll be suited up, gloves on, scarf, glasses. Now they all wear suits. I don't anymore. Now I wear sweats and shit. But now everybody want to wear suits. Everybody want to be fly, right? Like how it used to be. You know what the other one's going to be? Robes. Watch. Everybody's going to have a robe within the next 10 years, bro. Everybody. Remember when I started putting on the robes?
I'm glad you said that, because obviously I was about to pop up a photo, if I can find it, of you in the robe, but I can't. Well, let me check. No, I can't seem to find it. I think it must have gone off before I pressed it. But you in the robe, is that like a tribute to Ric Flair, or big fan
It's
of?
not. The reason why I wear a robe is because professional fighters have always traditionally worn robes, wrestlers and boxers. When have you ever seen one without a robe? The reason why you wear a robe is because when you're warming up backstage, getting ready for your fight, getting ready for your wrestling match, whatever it may be, you want to get your muscles loose, right? So you don't get injured. You put on a robe to keep yourself warm, because arenas are usually cold. So then when you get to the ring, your body is warm, your muscles are loose, you're ready to go. That's why you wear a robe. It's because so you don't get cold, you know? If these guys knew the first thing about fighting, they wouldn't go to the ring in their underwear in a little cutoff leather jacket. Doesn't make sense. You got to keep your muscles warm. That's why. There's a science behind it. Everything's calculated, man. You know?
I like that.
You know, all the wrestlers wear wrist tape. Why do they say wear? You're a fan, right? Why do they wear wrist tape?
Wrist tape. They wear wrist tape. For the circulations of the wrist, innit? For the muscles.
I don't know why. You know, I don't wear it. I don't wear wrist tape because they can grab it. It creates friction.
Yeah.
You know, when your arm is loose, if somebody tries to grab my wrist, it'll slip out. But if I got wrist tape, it'll get stuck on the tape. You know,
That's
so like, why do they wear tape around their wrist? Why do they go to a ring in no clothes? Because they don't know how to fight. They don't know how to perform. You know, that's why I wear a robe. Ric Flair just knew what he was doing. You know, and Ric Flair has completely tarnished the robe. I love Ric Flair. I'm not talking shit about Ric Flair. Love Ric Flair. He's the best, the greatest. Woo! I love Ric, man. He's my favorite. But he has tarnished the robe because it's a heel thing now. Like, bad guys wear robes. It's so hard for people to get out of their head that, like, a good guy will come out in a robe. But Rocky wore a robe, didn't he? Mm-hmm. Muhammad Ali wore a robe. George Foreman wore a robe. Right? All these people wear robes. They're not bad guys. Cody Rhodes kind of wears a robe. They're not bad guys. These are good guys. But wrestling fans synonymize things so heavily. So they're like, oh, robes mean you're a bad guy. So I liken myself to, like, you know, I hate saying his name because of, like, what happened and all that. But, you know, like, I'm like Benoit in a robe. You know, I'm aggressive. I'm a pit bull, you know, but I don't have to be like, you know, if I don't want to be. I can still be me. I can still be the fighter. I could be the aggressor, and I can wear a robe, right? Because I wear a robe to stay warm, not because I'm a bad guy and I think I'm better than anybody, right? Whether I think I am or not. So
logic.
That's how I look at it.
Behind everything.
That's how I look at it.
Yeah, there's logic behind everything.
There has to be. There has to be. You know why? Because one time I was talking to somebody from WWE.
Yeah.
Right? I was young in the business, looking to get an opportunity. Send them a match, right? They asked me to send them a match. And they said, why do you wear a robe? What's the reason? So I had to think about it for a long time. You know, I had to research. Like, why do I wear a robe? I'm like, why do I wear a robe? You know? And I was like, oh, I know why I wear a robe. Because this, and that. I said, because I'm cold. That's what I told them. I said, because I'm cold. They were like, what's that mean? I told them why. And they said, that's a good answer. Right? But that doesn't mean anything because I have to explain to you now why I have a robe on. Right? That shouldn't be necessary. That's just stuff that people like to pick at. Right? You know what I mean? They're like, hey, tell me why you wear a robe. The like, guy probably don't got to answer. You know? That's how it is in wrestling. You know? Mm-hmm. They love that stuff. You know? Like, what are you certified in? I'm certified in wrestling. Like, that's a stupid question.
That's true.
Right?
Obviously, you're a regular for OVW, right? Yeah. 6-time champ
is home for the most part.
6 times champ. You've been
champion.
I mean, what haven't you won there? You pretty much won it all.
I haven't won the national championship, which EC3 has. He's the only guy that I haven't beat there. Ethan Carter III.
You recently had a
WWE superstar, former TNA superstar, current NWA World's Champion, current OVW National Champion, So he's done pretty good for himself. Owner of Exodus Pro, creator of Control Your Narrative. Cool guy. An asshole, for sure, a cheater. I hate him, but the respect is there. I respect what he's done, of course. I've learned a lot from him. I used to be in a faction with him, the Overman. I'm the real. Listen, if EC3 is the Overman, like anything associated with Overman, like I'm the next one. Like I am like EC3's. I really am his protege. He's got like a lot of people around him that he thinks are like his little people. But at the end of the day, no matter what or how much time I spend around Ethan Carter III, like I am like the closest thing to him. The rest of the guys, they don't have the sauce like that. They could never be NWA World's Champion. I could be NWA World's Champion. And maybe I will be. We'll see.
Definitely. Can see it happening.
Yeah.
Also, last year, the series last September, coming up to a year now, like in September, the series of Wrestlers came out.
Mm-hmm.
How did that open doors for yourself, or how was it like with the documentary coming on? Did you know it was going to be a big success as what it was?
Did I know? I had an idea. Yeah, I mean, we thought that we were all going to be like superstars. We were like, we're all going to be everywhere, which granted, it did do very well. It's helped my career in so many ways. So grateful for the experience. But it didn't necessarily, it was coming right off the back end of COVID. So we couldn't do a lot of media outreach things. Like they couldn't send us to the Tonight Show, things like that. They were going to do because of like COVID mandates and things like that. So that didn't help like as far as like marketing and stuff. So like, basically like everybody that watched the show loves the show. Like it's the Washington Post, New York Times, Vulture, every magazine publication has put this show over, ranked it very highly. It's just that we couldn't get like enough people to watch it because it's wrestling, and that's how wrestling is. And like when wrestling fans don't like support something enough, like that's a big part of it too. But I feel like the wrestling fans were behind us. But we got to push stuff like that. It's like a wrestling community. Look what happened with the Monster Factory, right? Great show, great talent on there. David Goldie, a lot of people know him. Saw him took that Crossroads from Cody Rhodes. One of the main characters of that show on Apple TV. And I'm sure people would have liked to see more of him, but the wrestling community didn't support it. And I think that's the first step to getting stuff off the ground. I deal with like a lot of companies, like, you have like these top companies and they're so set on their fan base. And like, these are our fans. And, companies can live in a bubble sometimes. And I always believe that like the first step to like a successful wrestling business is wrestling fans. Granted, you always want to grow your company and you want to market to outside influences because you want new fans, but wrestling fans are your core foundation. They're the ones that are going to really support you and make your product work. And go tell a friend like, hey, maybe you should come watch this. It's the same thing as a wrestler. I believe that having like a small cult following is vital for my career because these are the people that are going to push me in my lows and my highs. When people don't support me, there's always going to be that core group that's like, we support you, we love you, we want to see you win. And they're going to help me win, And when I am a big star, it's going to be because of these, 50 to 200 fans or whatever that stuck with me from the beginning and pushed me and made sure that I got where I was supposed to go, and I'm not going to let them down.
Yeah, and obviously, I see where you're coming from with that, with what you said. And it comes to like the overview of the rest of the series last year and what you just said. Each company has its own specific fans. And wrestling fans can be really weird. Because if you think about the Cody Rhodes, The Rock, like Cody said that he's not going to fight Roman. And then The Rock came in, everyone turned on The Rock, and then all of a sudden Cody's now in the main event. And then it was like same like 10 years ago with Daniel Bryan. They wanted Daniel Bryan to be in the match at WrestleMania. And then it happened. You know what I mean? If the right movement gets behind a wrestler or a company, it doesn't matter who's in charge. They'll riot. Or we will change it pretty much.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, wrestling is very fluid. it always goes with what's current. When it's good, at least it takes current things that's happening, current events, and it builds off of those in like a television format. So, of course, you get the right push, like you said, and it's momentum. You try to ride that wave of momentum. Hopefully, that's what I'm trying to do. That's why you see me pop up on all these companies recently. I was on TNA, then I was at WWE a couple times, and then
NWA,
TNA, and then NWA, and like I just make my rounds. Then Ring of Honor, and I'm riding the momentum off of some of that stuff. And like I've got some good opportunities coming up. So hopefully, I can maximize those, which I 100% believe that I can. And I think a lot of people are going to be excited for what's next for Certified.
It's like you mentioned earlier, it's about the right time. And I think coming to the end of 2024, we'll say early 2025, I reckon it's going to be the right time for Certified.
I hope so. I think so.
Definitely. 2025, we'll say it now, will be your year.
Yeah, I've been saying that for like the past 3 years. So
yeah, but if you think about it, you've been in the business since what, early 2021, and
this will be my 4th year in October. I'll be at 4 years wrestling.
To think what you've accomplished in such a short amount of time, I think the world's on your side. You've got a lot coming up.
I think so. I've always been blessed in that regard. I feel like so. I mean, I'm putting in the work right now. I'm striving for greatness, and we're going to get there. We're going to get that greatness. We're going to catch it.
Yeah. We'll move back to Leila 2 seconds. Back in a couple of months ago, she had a little series with Tiffany Neves, and then Emma and Bad Girl Ellie?
Yeah, Emma, Ellie, Dream Girl Ellie.
Yeah, that's it. Bad Girl Ellie. Yeah, and where it was, if Tiffany lost, she would leave OVW, and I think Leila. Yeah, but then, Emma. I can't remember.
Yeah, it was Emma. She had the career match.
Yeah, and she was only there for a short time. Emma, I thought.
Yeah, she's back in Puerto Rico now.
Yeah, and then the match with Tiffany Neves, that is one of my favorite matches.
Yeah, it was a good match. The leg match.
Yeah, I think Leila doesn't get as much credit as she deserves, in my opinion.
I think that she's going to start getting more credit real soon.
Yeah.
That's my feeling. And, training at the dojo is going to help a lot, too. People are going to be talking about her a lot more next year and at the end of this year.
Definitely. Like you mentioned, obviously a regular with AEW Ring of Honor. She's now with Top Flight that we saw recently in Ring of Honor.
Yep.
So
she's with Top Flight, so she's going to get a lot of exposure doing that, and that's going to be great. It's going to be
amazing things coming up for her, and obviously yourself. Like we spoke before we went on, you've got a lot of things coming up, which is going to be amazing for both of you. I think this year you're going to be in the PWI top 50.
Yeah, right, dude. They've never even put me in the top 500, bro. I've never even made the PWI list. I know them jokers, bro. They know me. I'm like, they're going to put me in there, but they're going to wait for like the right time.
Yeah. Top 10.
Yeah, that's when they need to. Yeah, don't put me in there and tell them in the top 10, bro. I don't want to be number 357. No, I'll be happy no matter what number I am. But, I don't know. I don't. Fuck the PWI 500, bro. Like it's great. It's not like fuck them because whatever. But I mean, just for like, I'm just trying to make money, bro, and be like a professional wrestling star and entertain the shit out of fans. Like that's all I'm trying to do. Like I'm not trying to make a 500 list. Like every show that I go to, if there's 50 people, it's so fucking cliche, but it's what they always say in wrestling. If there's 50, if there's 500, if there's 5,000, if there's 50,000, I'm just trying to make sure everybody got their money's worth, right? That's my job. I'm just trying to do my job, right? When you come to a show, I want you to be entertained. I want you to feel like the money was well worth it. Even if everybody else sucked, I'm not going to. So if that warrants me making a PWI 500 list, cool. If it doesn't, you know,
Yeah,
I don't care. I'm going to be super over anyway because I do it for the fans.
yeah.
That's the difference between me and a lot of guys. I don't wrestle for myself. I wrestle for the fans. Every time I go to a show, I think about each dollar that's coming out of their pocket. They know that. That's why they love me.
100%. What would you say the most rewarding thing of being a professional wrestler is?
The most rewarding thing? Ooh, that's an interesting question, man. There's a lot of things that are very rewarding.
Got you now, Anna.
I think it's being able to like have an influence, you know, on people's lives and mood. Life can suck a lot of the times, you know, so being able to be somebody's entertainment, like I enjoy being an entertainer, you know, that's what I love. Any form or fashion of entertainment, being able to make somebody feel some type of way, like I enjoy that. So it's very rewarding for me for somebody to enjoy doing what I do. I mean, enjoy watching what I do, paying money to come see my craft, my art, and supporting me in my journey, because nobody really has to do that. It's a decision. This is why they say the fans are the most important thing. You know, the fans really do drive wrestling because the fans pay the money to come watch us and support us and buy merch and things like that. So I feel very grateful when somebody buys a t-shirt, you know, honestly, that's the most rewarding thing for me. It's like being able to sell somebody something because of what I've done and them appreciating what I do. Like this is why I do it. I do it for the fans, you know, like
Yeah.
I've had a lot of things happen to me in my life. You know, I'm a little, glutton for punishment. I like the pain, you know, I like contact. My whole life, I've been a football player, a wrestler, like been in fights. I just love, that contact. So I love this, the sport, the feeling of like, you know, I'm aggressive like that. I like the connection, you know, the fight. I like that. That's what I enjoy. But I do it for the fans, you know. I do it to make people happy.
And
They're really pissed off. But then I always make them happy. You see, because I understand this.
psychology in it.
Yes.
And some people don't get that.
A lot of people don't, or they don't care. I mean, because there's a place for everything. Maybe there's a place for no psychology at times, right? Some people just want to be entertained, right? They just want to see some shit. Boom, boom, boom.
Mm-hmm.
If that's what you do, that's what you do. It's great. You know, I do that sometimes in some ways, but a lot of times I try to, think about drawing that emotion. It's a great feeling when people are like really like biting on the edge of their seat. Like I was taught that everybody wants to believe, right? Everybody thinks wrestling's fake. All the fans think it's fake. Like, this is fake. It's fake. But they want to believe it's real. So badly, every single one of them. They're dying to. So you just got to make them lean in. Everybody's sitting back like this, relaxed, watching the show. You want them to be leaned in, you want them to buy it. So you want to believe that believability to it.
Yeah.
Can buy into what you're doing. And they're like, man, maybe this is real. Maybe those guys are really hitting each other. They're shooting on each other, bro. That's what you want. Then they're enjoying the shit. They're like, this is a real fight. We're watching UFC now. Like I don't know what wrestling fans want, dude. It's so funny, bro. They're shooting on each other. Like, yeah, that's what it's all about, bro. It's about, getting people going.
Yeah. So you are, correct me if I'm wrong, 30 years young.
Mm-hmm.
But really you look no age over 25.
30 years old. I'm old, bro.
So you mentioned obviously you've been in the wrestling business 4 years.
Uh-huh.
Let's skip back a few years. What did you do from the age of, I don't know what you do in America, but for us in the UK, we leave school at 18. What did you do from the age of 18 till 26? Did you always knew you wanted to be a professional wrestler?
No. Hang on one second. Sorry, bro.
Sorry?
No, bro. I became a drug addict. I became a cokehead from the ages 18 to 24, real bad in Miami. Got married, got divorced, had kids, bro. Had a crazy life.
Fair enough.
Yeah, man, I did MMA. I used to train at American Top Team with
Wow.
someone named Yoel Romero. I was his sparring partner. He was a UFC fighter. I wanted to do MMA for a bit. It didn't work out. I was always supposed to be an athlete, but I turned away from that. And I became a mechanic. I'm a welder. I can weld HVAC. I used to do big commercial air conditioning units in Miami. And, you know, I used to go to the bar and drink every day. And Leila, she was a bartender there. And that's how I met her. So she would serve me beer and I would go see her every day. And then eventually we just started dating. And she said she wanted to try this pro wrestling. I was an amateur wrestler growing up. So we were together for a year. We never really spoken about that because I wasn't focused on that. I didn't want to do anything like that. You know, I looked completely different. Like old pictures of me are crazy. I'm sure you've seen them, right?
Purple hat.
Oh, no, way before that, bro. I'm talking about I used to have hair down to my ass, long hair. I used to have a beard that was like this long.
Oh, Gandalf.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Gandalf. Yeah. So, yeah, bro, I went through a lot of hard stuff in life. When I became a wrestler, I probably still did coke for like the first 6 months when I was wrestling. You know, not I was just training, right? And then I got sober. Wrestling got me sober, and Leila, you know. So the combination of all that, and there's a lot that goes into it, bro. You know, I didn't want to go to the school so bad. She was like, "Come, let's do this. If we don't do it today, we're never gonna do it." We started our first day together. I always tell the story. When we walked out of school after training the first day, I told her, like, first thing I said, I'm going to the WWE. Like, I knew it. When my feet like left impressions in the canvas, when I walked around in the ring, I knew right away. I was like, I could do this because it took me back to like before I was a drug addict, when I was a wrestler in high school, middle school, kid growing up. I wrestled my whole life, dude, from when I was a little kid. Been all over the United States wrestling. I've already done this before. This ain't my first rodeo. So, yeah, man. I mean, you know, got sober, and wrestling is my salvation. That's what I tell everybody. Wrestling changed my life, dude, 100%. And I'm very grateful for it. So, you know, I'm destined to be great in wrestling because I treat wrestling like a woman that I love, you know, and I got one of the most beautiful women in the world. So you can just imagine how I treat women very well.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it works, bro. That's how it works. I treat wrestling the same way I treat Leila. Amazing. So wrestling is guaranteed to give back to me. That's how it works. You know, I put my effort into wrestling. When I'm sitting in the bathroom taking a shit, I'm watching a wrestling match. You know, like that's just how it goes. Trying to get better all the time.
100%. But seriously, that what you just said, thank you for opening up and talking to me about that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, no problem, dude. Yeah.
And it just shows what a kind, humble guy you are. Like you mentioned, obviously, Leila, your girl, you met her at the bar, and it's like a little love story. She saved you.
Yeah.
I always find if you become friends with a person first, I mean, my wife, I became friends with her first, and then, you know, that's how that relationship started, and then irresistible ever since, married now.
Mm-hmm.
And what you've just told me with Leila,
Yeah.
She's your savior and everything. And what is it, 5, 6 years sober now?
Yeah.
Take my hat off to you, man.
5 years, some crazy shit like that. A long time.
Take my hat off to you. And like I mentioned to you earlier, you're the workhorse of professional wrestling. You are obviously you're certified for a reason.
Yeah.
Destined for greatness. I mean, I could go on and on and on and make your head even bigger than probably what it already is. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
I try to remain humble.
yeah,
I'm no better than anybody, honestly. You know, I'm really not. Everybody, you know, I believe everybody's on the same playing field. And I believe there's enough for everybody to do well in wrestling. And if you see me in locker rooms and like around people, like I'm very giving. You know, a lot of people in wrestling are not giving. I try to help everybody in any way that I can and make sure that they look good, you know?
Yeah. And obviously you're about mentioning helping people and stuff like that. You coming on the podcast with me today and helping me. It shows what a guy you are, you know. So I appreciate that, and from the bottom of my heart, I'm glad that I've had you on today, and one of the best that I watch from OVW.
Thank you, dude. I appreciate it, and a lot more to come, bro. You know, thank you for supporting, and you know, like your wall says, life is for living. You know, you gotta live life, man, and pursue greatness, and that's what's gonna happen.
That's true, man.
Everybody comes up together. You know, that's how we do this.
Yeah. Who is your Mount Rushmore of professional wrestling? This is something that I ask everyone.
What is that, 4?
I always thought it was 4, but recently I've been told it's 5.
Oh, wow, it's 5? My Mount Rushmore. So who I think is like the best, or who's my favorite? What is it?
Well, we all have different opinions on who's the best, but it's your opinion. Who do you think's the best, or you like? Who's
in no particular order, right?
Okay. Luke Kurtis.
No, I'm not in there yet, but maybe I will be one day. We're gonna go with Shawn Michaels.
I knew you was gonna say him.
Ric Flair.
Yes.
I'm really thinking about who these Mount Rushmore of wrestlers are. Okay. I'm going to throw a surprise in there. Kurt Angle.
Okay.
Who's super good. So we got Shawn Michaels, Ric Flair, Kurt Angle.
Okay.
I've become super picky with how I feel about wrestling these days. You know, I watch a lot of wrestling. So
why don't you pick 2 people that's still fighting?
2 currents?
Yeah.
If I had to pick a modern day wrestler, I feel like I cannot make this list without putting Kenny Omega on it. I really, truly feel like Kenny Omega is one of the greatest wrestlers ever.
100%. 100%.
And I guess I'm going to fucking throw in AJ Styles.
Okay.
AJ Styles, bro. Whew.
Have you ever met him?
Absolutely. And he looks fucking like a scary ass motherfucker all the time. He never looks fucking happy. Yo, AJ Styles, bro.
He's mad.
He's probably the nicest guy ever. Every time I watch an interview, he's so nice. But every time I see him, he's the phenomenal one, bro. You know, he's cool. He's good. I like Cody Rhodes too. Cody Rhodes is one of my favorites, but I'm not Mount Rushmore in him yet. You know, because I think that those guys that I named, they got like that secret sauce. You know, Cody's got it too. Cody's the man. I love Cody. He's who I model myself after. You know, but Cody got to keep putting on these bangers like he's doing. I always said when Cody got to the top, it's going to be different with Cody than Roman because Cody wrestles different. You know, Cody trying to have those matches like that Clash at the Castle with him and AJ or whenever it was, and they tore it down. That's what I like to see. That's how you wrestle right there. Not 5 finishers, then they hit 5 finishers and you take it home, bro. That's garbage. I hate that. What was that? Goldberg and them all the time.
Cena.
Yeah. Well, Cena's my favorite wrestler growing up, bro. I probably wrestled because John Cena. Like I went to Ace Hardware, this hardware store. I bought a chain, put a master lock on it. I was Cena all day, bro. I love Cena. He's amazing, dude. John Cena, what? But you know, now that I'm a wrestler, I have to cater to like these people that like have these big moments and these big matches, and like I don't know, there's just something to it, you know, to these other guys. So who was I gotta let me look at my list again, see if I like it. Shawn Michaels. Let's start with Rick because he's the oldest. Rick, Shawn, Angle, AJ, Kenny. Yeah. Kenny's almost done, huh?
Yeah.
Like, you know, having like Kenny Omega, you know.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, it's crazy to see like people like he just changes like how he does stuff. You know, like it becomes more power, it becomes more this, you know, and then you watch like Kenny Omega like 10 years ago, you know, and it's like it's different, you know. Even Ricochet used to hit that double moonsault. I'm like, dude, it's like crazy, bro.
It's like Danielson as well.
Yeah.
He's,
Danielson?
yeah, that's going to be an interesting one in 2 weeks at Wembley Stadium.
I wrestle so much like Bryan Danielson. I take everything that guy does. I don't know what it is. I do the running knee is my finisher. So I can't work at AEW, man. Yo, that is so my move, bro. I do it as good as him, if not better. So like, I'm like anywhere I go, I'm gonna be hitting out. Wow, that right knee out of nowhere.
It's gonna be good, man.
Certifier, bro. It ends him. I do crossface. He does label lock. I do diving headbutt. He does diving headbutt. You know.
Yeah. What things? Obviously, you mentioned obviously you're gonna have the dojo and you might be moving to Los Angeles. What else have we got that you can announce or say that you've got coming up, or just what is coming up for the rest of 2024 for Certified Luke Kurtis?
That's it for the most part. You know, I'm gonna be refocusing on that, and you know, OVW opens back up August 29th. So OVW is going to be back again. And then they have the big show in Kentucky. TNA's coming out here. And then, yeah, I'm going to be doing a 3-month, I'm going to be hitting the West Coast. So it's going to be a feeling out process. So let's see how that little journey goes, doing the west side of the country. I'm going to try to do some Vegas, some FSW. You know, I'm going to see what's out there. West Coast Pro. I got to do a lot of reaching out to these promoters and letting them know that I'm coming and seeing if I can get some work in. But bodybuilding, you know, I'm going to be competing next year. So look for me to get fucking jacked over the next year or so.
So one question, why didn't you mention there that you might be coming to the UK?
Because nobody's reaching out to me, man. I've been wanting to go to the UK for a while. I gotta get in contact with some promoters. That's what it is, really. I just gotta do the legwork because I can get out there no problem. You know, it's just a matter of finding out which promotions to go to and which ones to reach out to, and then also like I guess I'll be staying in hostels or some shit. Where am I gonna live, bro? Where am I gonna stay out there in the UK? People live in cars and shit out there, right? When they're traveling, the boys. So I don't know. It seems like a big investment, but.
Would you do like a 2-week or a month tour, or how long would you do it? Because I know some people come out and fly for like a Friday and then go back on the Sunday morning. Is that something you would do, or?
Yeah, I would do anything. I would come for a week. I would come for 2 weeks. Yeah, I mean, whatever. I don't care. I go to UK. I go to Mexico. I go to Japan. I go anywhere. So we'll see. You know, we'll see what happens next, man. I'm excited for the end of this year. So it's just a matter of like, you know, I got to finish out August and see how August goes for me. I'll know a little more by the end of August.
Yeah. What's an inspirational message from Mr. Luke Kurtis?
An inspirational message?
I ask everyone this.
Who's it to?
Anyone that's watching or anyone going through a time or anything.
I would say, you know, keep pushing, keep focusing on your goals. I know that life is hard. Life is hard for me. You see a lot of things on social media looking from the outside in. That's not really how life is. Focus on what is around you and being in the present and bettering yourself. And once you figure out the keys to bettering yourself, it'll apply to everything in life and make that your next challenge. Make your next challenge in life bettering yourself every day and see where it takes you.
Awesome. I love that one. So where can people find you?
Yeah, so you can find me on Instagram at Certified Luke Kurtis, on X, but we still calling it Twitter, at Certified LK because Twitter, or Certified Luke K because Twitter don't have enough characters. I got so many matches on YouTube, all my OVW matches and many more. I had a match at Magnum Pro, triple threat match with a table involved. I would check that out. That's on there. super good match. I enjoyed it a lot. I chopped those guys so many times; they're probably still in pain from that. And yeah, I'm on TikTok, certified Luke Kurtis, all the socials, man. Google me, and yeah, catch me at a show, catch me at a local show, and that's it. Just stay tuned to the journey and watch a lot of wrestling on TV, because I always pop up on TV. I think last month I was on SmackDown, I was on Raw, I was on TNA. Maybe I'll be on TNA again. Maybe I'll get to wrestle. I don't know. Hopefully, but you know, just stick with me, and we're gonna do some great things. And follow me on social media, of course.
Follow Mr. Luke Kurtis, because you well appointed the man, like we said, is a workhorse, is a grind of a wrestler. He puts in the hard work, and like I mentioned earlier, I'll just name one match. For example, you mentioned DC3. You recently had a match with him, the 20-minute banger. It was one of the best matches that I've seen you done. That's my favorite match of yours. You and he, 20-minute banger, unbelievable.
Did you watch the first one I had with him, or the second one?
The second one, the one recently.
Yeah. Have you ever seen the first one for the NWA Championship?
That was at NWA, wasn't it?
No, it was at OVW.
OVW.
Where he fucked my leg up?
Yes, I remember now. That's fucking...
Yeah. Did you watch the match with Shane Mercer? Check that one out.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one yet. I'll watch that one after this.
That's everybody's favorite match. Luke Kurtis. Huh?
Shane Mercer's an unbelievable performer as well.
Very, very talented. Yes. I would love to get to go at Shane again sometime. And I think we will. You know, it's the Iron Demon, baby.
Yeah. Honestly,
I would like to tag with Shane. Man, dude, that wrestling that guy's crazy, bro. You know how many times I hit that guy and he just look at me? I'm like, bro.
Scary.
Wrestling's not fake when you're wrestling like Shane Mercer.
Unbelievable. Honestly, man, but thank you for your time. Thank you for coming on. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Thank you for this chat. I know we've been trying to organize it for a little while now.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, dude. But, you know, we'll get it in there.
Yeah.
We'll do it again, man. Now you got my number, so.
Appreciate that. I will be doing some work after this. I mean, I'll speak to you after this, but I'll be doing some work for you. You know, you've helped me out. I'll try my best to help you out.
Ah, thank you, dude. I appreciate that. And likewise, you know.
Yeah, big shout out to Derek, you know, at Curtain Jerker Design. So he's going to be helping me out with a thumbnail. So thank you, Luke, for coming on. Really do appreciate it. Take it easy, man.
Yeah, you too, bro. Yeah, you're ending the recording, right? But stay on.
Oh, all the best, man.